Good morning, Warriors! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you guys had a great evening last night. Got up a little bit later than usual. A lot of partying going on and things around the neighborhood and the house. And so I'm glad that you guys had a good evening, a safe one, of course. And making sure you're not getting involved in temptation that's going to lead you down the wrong path. So we need to kind of keep with that. And I hope you guys have a great year coming up. Thank you guys for all the shout outs and thank you. One of the things I'm going to do is over this, probably today, going through all the last week's comments and giving shout outs. I'll probably put those within the description so people can get recognition for participating, but also saving me some time on content because I'm trying to keep these to about 10 minutes, just a little bit, maybe a little bit over if I have to, but about 10 minutes just to make sure that we're just giving you kind of contact and I'm not rambling on, because I do have a tendency as a teacher to do that. And so I want to make sure that you guys are getting all the good information. The whole key, my friends, to another year of conquest, and what do I mean by conquest, is you're conquesting yourself, you're taking control of yourself, and you're mastering yourself. And this is very important. And I think that once you do that, the world around you becomes a lot more of an attractive type of thing. I just noticed that going into a store and coming back out, people's reactions are so much different. And even though it's New Year, it's still the same reactions. And we go back to the same things we talked about with aura and what that really is. It really comes down to how people treat you. And now whether or not you want to say that's a combination of confidence, retention, all those things, whatever it does, it works. And I think certainly it hasn't been like that for me before I had my 940 some days, and didn't have that before, not like that. And so it's a lot different reaction. So you see a difference, and that's the key. All right, so today I'm going to give a shout out to Mike Nugent. Mike, we're going to talk about your question, comment, and kind of focus. You asked about retention and pheromones. So I did a little bit of research on pheromones and kind of talk about those a little bit as we talk about this. All right, so we talk about pheromones. We're talking about different things, secretions, things that are given off by people. And it could be something like scents, something like aromas, things like this that people give off that we're not aware of. Now, a lot of the research I've seen, there's not a lot of scientific research for people to agree that people do give off pheromones, things like that. So I say this, and I say this that I don't have a lot of scientific backing this way, and even if I did, it was probably skewed one way or the other depending on who's looking at this. So I'm not always sure everything I look at is actually accurate. You have to kind of look at several sources, in my opinion, to see this. But we can talk about this in a sense, because if you look at animals, let's just take a look at animals. So animals give off certain scents, and we know that. I mean, we just know that from animals, and you see it all the time because they smell. They have especially my dogs have a tremendous amount of smelling, and they smell the scents, and they smell different types of things within people. So some of that is territorial, space-wise, and some of that is obviously mating and things like that. So why would it be that much different with humans? Now, the human life is a lot more complicated, and so the sexual behaviors we talk about are a lot more complicated. But just look at the whole idea of scent and smell. And this is very important because smell is something that can attract you. All you got to do is look at the fields of cologne and perfumes with men and women, and you know that the fragrances of people, the scents people give out, and the fragrances they add to that can attract you to go down to the wrong hole here. And I'm talking about a temptation hole of getting you to the point where now you are going into and being trapped into this. The Bible even talks about this, that a person, it's almost like a guy going to, if he's going into a woman who's married, her bedroom, and she's got all these scents and different sorts of, great smells in the bedroom, that's going to attract the person. But it's almost like leading the lamb to a slaughter. Because once the person's in there, and especially with someone who's married, a lot of jealous husbands out there, and you could be, I think in this passage of the Bible, a person gets hit with an arrow, right? And I think that's what it is. And so the person is dead. And yeah, they may have had a couple thoughts of pleasure, but they died real fast. And the thing is that, guys, you are going to die, whether it's physically or start dying spiritually and moving away from God. The more temptation you have, and the more you're getting away from that. But the one thing that can attract you is smell. The right type of perfume, the right type of cologne, it attracts different people at different points of their life because that smell, the fragrance. Now, let's talk about people do not use cologne and do not use perfume. Do they have scents? Well, if you look at the animal population, you'll see that a lot of, they don't obviously use cologne or scent. I mean, yeah, you can get them groomed and they look nice and all that kind of stuff, but really what the animals look like, they go by, and I've had cats and dogs for years, is they go by the scent. And so the scent is something that's very real. Now, they haven't proved this with human beings. However, I believe the pheromones are given out because I believe that's energy. And when you're looking at energy and you talk about things like aura and pheromones and those type of things, people are emitting energy about themselves. Now, what do you want to talk about as a pheromone, as a scent, or it's an energy level that people pick up on you? I really believe, in my case, that's happening. People see that. They respond to that. Now, why they respond to it, I don't know. I haven't done enough research in this to figure out why they're doing that. Why is there a big difference that I've experienced over the last 2.5 years now, as compared to the last 59 years? Because I did not have that reaction that people give me now when they see me. It's almost like they react to me before I even say anything. They're looking at me. Now, that is interesting, because what are they sensing? I think we don't, as human beings, because so much of it is focused on our eyesight, we don't really focus on the senses that people have. Touch, smell, as much. They're added to it, but the eyesight, especially for men, is very important. That's how the fantasies, all the things go to the brain, and all of a sudden now you're attracted or aroused by someone. But the thing is the senses also add to that a great deal. And when you look at the thing about smell and scent, it is very possible that you are sensing something about a person. Now, they're giving off other signals that you can see, but in fact, even if you were blindfolded, I wonder whether or not you can actually sense that person, smell, and sense that person. Because that's what I see with the dogs. And I don't think we're that much different. Yes, it's much more complicated, of course. And of course, there's a lot of other things that factor into it, and you have a reasoned choice and things like that, which animals may or may not have. I don't know. I think they probably have some level of choice, but from what I've seen is that there's not a lot of choice, right? If their instincts to say go, they're beasts, the males are beasts, and they just go after the females, right? This is the kind of stuff that is really very interesting to see. So after studying that, you have to also start seeing yourself, okay, do males and human males have the same sense? Can they scent things? Can they feel a woman's scent? And, I think it's very interesting. It's a very interesting thing. Of course, a lot of males and females don't want their naturalness to come out. They rather have something that's an illusion type of thing, because a lot of times they're not as happy about their natural state and how they smell and things like that. And like I said, body odor and all this other kind of stuff. However, we don't know. And I think Mike's got a good point here about pheromones, is it does draw attraction. It can draw attraction if you look at it from an energy source. Obviously, energy attracts energy. And if you've got the right side of combination and you're a type of male that really is drawn to this female, we don't know if it's the energy level, the pheromones. It could be a combination of a bunch of different things. And that's why it's important to kind of understand this idea. And obviously, as more research is being done with this, we can probably see more of this. But certainly, I think that, if you look at the animal species, they must have some level of recognizing where the person is interested in mating or not. Some ability. Now, whether that's by eyesight, one of the senses, or by smell, I think males especially, in the purest form of animalistic type of thing, if you're talking about the actual animals, they act like animals. Lions, I mean, if they really want to mate, they find someone they can see right away. I don't know how that brain functions with a lion or a cat or a dog, but I do know with humans, you see visually first, and you see that attraction, and all of a sudden, now you're interested. Now, you have other kind of barriers, right? You have to find out if they have a boyfriend, girlfriend, if they have a boyfriend, a husband, what's the situation, the value system. All of a sudden, these are things the animals don't tend to look at. Now, is that good or bad? That's probably another question for another time. But you will get attracted because what you're seeing and perhaps what you're smelling is going to do that. So I think pheromones play a factor, though I can't tell you exactly what that factor is. I think it's something to tend to look at. So we'll do a little more research on this, Mike, as time goes on. But it's a great comment, great question. So, all right, guys, I want to wish you guys Happy New Year this year, 2023. Great to have you guys aboard, and any way that I can kind of improve and give you guys more information I can. Some things I know about, some things I don't know too much about, but I'll do some more research on this and see if we can come up with some better definitive answers. But I wanted to give at least an introduction. Oh, and some people who are asking about the Fountain of Youth exercises, I just did one a couple days ago on the book. I haven't got a chance to actually kind of show you the exercises, but in the book, it does show it. The book, once again, is The Ancient Secret of the Fountain of Youth by Peter Keldler. And there's also lots of editions of this. I think it was done in the 1930s or 40s or something like that. So, all right, guys, have a great day today. Continue to battle on. Enjoy the new year. And, guys, continue to be a wise warrior. Remember, every day is a new day to a wise warrior. God bless you guys, and battle on.